Hello and welcome. I'm returning to the Next War Iran with a new playthrough, and today I'm going to play a second scenario for standard rules titled Any Old Port in a Storm. I'm going to change this scenario a bit. It's not like I'm going to change the scenario at all, but I'm going to add some new features that weren't used originally in this scenario, but I want to add them to make the game a bit more interesting. In my personal opinion, these small-scale scenarios are primarily meant to help you to get familiar with the system, to learn the rules, and to understand how everything works. So it makes sense to add some new things to every scenario. Sadly, there are only two small scenarios for this game, and there are no such small scenarios for advanced rules. And this is something I always complained when it comes to the Next War series. In fact, I made such a small scale scenario with advanced rules for Next War Poland. You can find it on the Board Game Geek. This is expanded version of the Suwalki Gap. But let us go back to the Any Old Port in a Storm. In this scenario, Allied player has to capture one port on the Iranian coast. We are playing from the hex row 3-3, meaning this hex row, so only three ports are available: Jask, Konarak, and Chabahar. So we have to choose one of them before we will start the game. So let's calculate our options. Chabahar is a good port. It is not only a port, but also an airbase. But it is manned by the Marine Brigade, Armored Brigade and Mechanized Brigade. Very strong forces. Konarak. It is only a port, so no airbase around, but it is manned only by 3 weak Marine battalions. So it is very poorly defended. And finally, Jask. Jask is a port with airfield, which is good, and it is manned by 3 Marine battalions and Armored Brigade. So, as you can see, Konarak is definitely the most juicy target with only 3 weak units standing there. So this should be, we should be able to capture this port with our airborne units only. That's my plan. We never know if we will make it. So I'm going to choose this port as my target. Okay, so now we know what are we going to do. So now what forces we have to do, we have to make this operation work. We have to choose one holding box of our Gulf allies. I'm choosing Oman, and there I have entire 82nd Division along with 173rd Brigade. These are all airborne forces. Along with the Gulf of Oman, where we have a group of ships, 2 carrier groups, 1 surface action group and 1 amphibious group carrying the entire Marine regiment, along with helicopters. So our forces are quite strong, but they aren't much stronger than the enemy. So we need to move fast, especially because enemy is going to get a number of reinforcements, and that's where we are coming with a new stuff that you won't find in this scenario in the game. First of all, I decided to invite a couple of Chinese units to this play. So at the beginning, in the setup, we have 1 Chinese airborne brigade and 1 more Chinese mechanized airborne brigade is going to arrive later in reinforcements. I think they are going to make a game a bit more interesting. And next, these are these SSM launchers. They are meant to be used in the campaign game only. But I decided it will be fun to include them in this scenario, so I will be able to show you how these babies work. So, first of all, For this scenario, since it is small scale scenario, I decided to use only 3. So we are taking 3 real launchers and 3 dummies. And now we need to set them up. We cannot set them up anywhere we like. There are some limitations. First of all, they have to be placed on the highland hexes only, a hexes with a road, a hexes that are not far than 5 hexes from the sea hexes, and finally there can be no mountain hex between them and the sea. So for example, I cannot place my launcher here because there is a mountain on the way, but I can do it here since there is no mountain on the way. So now I'm going to shuffle them a bit, so I will outsmart myself, I hope so, and I'm going to set them up. So one goes here, one goes there, one goes here, one goes there, and I have 2 more. One goes here and one goes there. Okay, so they are set up. They can be used in the 2 ways. First, to gain modifiers for the sea control rolls, or to make enemy to force enemy to make contested sea movement, or to gain modifier for actual contested sea movement. So they can be quite useful when enemy has definitely naval advantage, like Americans do in this scenario. Okay, so these are these 2 new things that I'm going to include: Chinese units and launchers. Everything else is the same, but even so, this makes us start the game right from the scratch, from the beginning. So we are starting with, oh, this scenario takes 4 turns to play. I think I forgot to state it. Okay, we are starting turn 1 and weather phase. Weather is clear at the beginning of the game, season is wet. Supply phase. I'm going to use supply rules as well, but this is turn 1, we have no issues with supply. Next, initiative air naval phase. American player has initiative, and next thing is detection. Detection is a new feature which is primarily focused on these launchers. We are going to make 2 rolls, only 2 because the number of these launchers is limited for this scenario, and every time I will roll 0 or 2, I can flip the marker that I choose and mark it as detected if it is a real launcher, or remove it if it is a dummy. Let's roll. For this one, 2. Okay, so that's 2, we can flip it, and this is a real launcher. So I am marking it with detected, and now let's choose this one. That's 3, so no detection. Okay, so this one is detected, we know this is a real launcher. And since there were 3 launchers on the board, we know we can now place the Iron Naval SSM points on 3. So non-allied player has 3 points of these missiles that he can use during this turn. Okay, next we have to check for the air points. In this scenario, air points are fixed. Allied player starts with 8 air points, non-allied player starts with 4. And next, allied player may declare that he can spend a couple of his air points to change them into strike air points. You can spend 2 air points to get 1 additional strike points. We have 7 strike points, so I'm going to spend 2 air points to gain 1 strike point. So now I have 8 strike points. And next we have strike phase. And now I can perform strikes. To perform strike, you have to choose your target. There are two actual targets you can use your strikes in the standard game. Detected launchers or patrol boats trucks. I'm going to do two strikes. One with 4 points against this launcher and one against the Gulf of Oman patrol boat truck. Each of these strikes takes 4 points. You cannot use more than 6 for a single strike. And now, I'm starting here, and how we are making a strike. First, we are making a AO defense roll. In this turn, AO defense is on the superiority level. So let us take a table. Yeah, we all love these tables, aren't we? And we'll be using AO superiority column. So I'm rolling for enemy AO defense. I rolled 6, so this is a miss. So we still have 4 strike points that are targeting this hex. So I'm making a roll, and I rolled 2. Great! That's a great news. Why? Because to achieve a hit, we need to get a number which is equal or less than our strike points. We spent 4 strike points. But if we will get a result which is twice lower than our strike points, then we get 2 hits. So I spent 4 strike points, I got 2. 2 is half of 4, and because of that I achieved 2 hits versus this launcher. And when there are 2 hits, a launcher is completely destroyed. So that's a great shot, and now enemy SSM points number is reduced into 2. Okay, that was a good roll. Now my next target is Gulf of Oman patrol boat truck. I am also spending 4 strike points, and ooh, no good. That was AO defense roll. We got 0, and let me check you. This is -1, so we lost 1 point. Because of that, we can use only 3 strike points on the attack on this truck. So I'm rolling. Wow! Good job, guys! And because of 0, which is twice lower than 3, we got 2 hits. And you know, this is amazing. Why? Let me show you. Here we have this patrol boat truck. As long as there are as there is any level of patrol boats here, no amphibious assault is available. But we rolled 0, meaning we eliminated all these damn patrol boats, and since we get 2 hits, down to 0. They are all turned into fish food now, and because of this, we will be able to try to make amphibious assault. Well, not really, but we are closer. Why we are closer? Well, that's the next point of the initiative AO naval phase, meaning sea control. Let us go on the strategic display, and now we are going only to use this half of strategic display. The other one is not in use in this scenario. So we are using this one, and we have 2 zones that we will be interested in. Gulf of Oman inshore box, Gulf of Oman at sea zone. So now we need to roll for the sea control. Gulf of Oman inshore box begins under non-allied player control. And please remember that as long as inshore box is enemy controlled, we cannot use it for our amphibious assault. It can be used only if it is contested or friendly controlled. So now I need to make a roll to see who is going to control Gulf of Oman inshore box. I got 0 again. Oh hell. That's a bad news, because the lower we roll, the higher is the chance that non-allied player will control it. And now we got 0. There are no positive modifiers for this, I believe, for now. Let me check. Sea control. No ships. -2 for subthreat level, +1 for Allied air superiority. So this is 0, -2 and +1. So this is definitely lower than 2, so it remains under non-Allied control. So we need to keep this then marker here. So looks like our luck is going to end. Next, I'm going to roll for the Gulf of Oman Sea zone. So that's 3, and now 4, 5, 6 for these 3 groups, 7 for air superiority, and 6, 5 for subthreat level. So the result is 5, meaning it is contested. So it remains contested. Could be better, could be worse. Okay, so that's all for sea control issues. Next, mine clearance, but mine clearance is not done in the turn 1. So this is the end of the initiative air naval phase. It's not perfect. We managed to eliminate enemy patrol boats, but because Gulf of Oman remains under non-allied player control, we won't be able to use it for amphibious assault. This sucks. Okay, so let's go into initiative air movement and combat phase. We are starting with movement segment. Okay, so I think we are going to return here, and a couple of my ships are going to try to enter Gulf of Oman inshore box to increase my chance to gain control over it in the next turn. I will start with this carrier group, and I'm making a roll for contested sea movement, but now non-allied player declares that he's going to spend one of his points of missile launchers to get +1 modifier for this die roll. So he needs to reveal one of these launchers. Let us go back here, and I think I'm going to reveal this launcher. Okay, it is now revealed. We know that there is a launcher here. And next, I'm making a roll. That's 7. Oh, this is going to be bad. -2 for carriers. No, sorry. +1 for -1 for carrier. +2 for subthreat level. +1 for missile launcher. So this is going to be 9. So no, this is a failure. Next, this carrier group is going to make it again, and I'm going to use another launcher to make it happen. So I am revealing another launcher here, and I am making a roll. That's 5, and now -1, +2 for the, so it's 4, +1 for the subthreat level, so it's 6, and +1 for the launcher, this is 7. So again, a failure. And now this surface action group is trying, and wow, they made it, because -1 for the surface action group, it's 0, +2 for subthreat level, it is 2, and if we get 5 or less, sea movement is successful. So yes, they made it. They are going to stay here. Okay, that's great. And next, I'm going to move with my airborne unit. They are starting in the Gulf of Oman holding box. And how can I use them? Well, there are 2 ways. I can tell them to make air mobile movement or to make airborne movement. Actually, air mobile movement isn't going to be very useful here. Let me show you why. They are starting with this hex, and they are starting with 19 movement points already spent, meaning they have only 5 movement points left. So how far they can move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, pretty far from our target. So no, I'm not going to use air mobile movement here. Instead, we will go full D-Day scale with airborne operation of the entire division. So this brigade tries to land here. first thing first, we need to make a roll for air defense. I got 9. This is definitely a success, because to be hit by enemy air defense there should be 0 or less. So that's great. And now we need to make another roll for paradrop. We are landing in a flat terrain, so I got 2, so that's fine, they landed safely. Another brigade tries to land here. This is going to be harder because there is enemy mechanized unit here, but first of all we are making air defense roll. That's 6. It is -2 for enemy airbase and -1 for enemy mechanized unit, so -3. 6 minus 3 is 3, that's fine. We made it. And now paradrop roll. I'm adding +1 because I'm landing in the enemy zone of control. So that's 2 + 1, 3, perfect. This brigade lands here. Let me roll for air defense. That's 8, fantastic. And now for the paradrop. That's 9, oh no, that's 6. Everything's fine. So they landed safely, and now I'm going to use this brigade to land here. Why here, you may ask? This looks strange, but actually it makes some sense. I'm going to use it to try to block enemy reinforcement coming. So let me roll for air defense. Ooh. 6, that's fine. And now for the paradrop, 1, everything's perfect. So our airborne operation went perfectly, smoothly. We took no losses. Everyone's where they should be. So now that's all for the movement segment. We are going into combat segment. I have one attack to be made, and it is here. So let us go with this combat. They are attacking with 9 and defender has 3, so this is 3 to 1. This is going to be a leading force, so 7 versus 4, ooh, that's +3. But they are defending in the city, so it's -2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the final odds are 4 to 1. Now, let's calculate our die roll modifiers. Attacker calls for 2 air points. I got 4 for the air defense. This is -2 for enemy installation on this hex, but that's still enough. So I have -2 for my air support. Defender calls for 1 point of his air support as well. Let me roll. It's 3. I think this is not enough. Firing side has air superiority 3, it's -1. So no, they gain no air support. Next, I am attacking from 3 different directions, so I have -1. So that's -3, and that's all. We have no additional modifiers here, so that's all for die roll modifiers. So now I have to make a roll to see the result of the combat. Wow! That's looks like in this game I have only high or low rolls. Okay, that's 1, -3, so that's -2. This is -1 and 3. Okay, so defender takes 3 losses, so they are all dead, and attacker takes 1 loss. Now I am taking Konarak, and I need to mark them with a clearing marker. So let me draw randomly 1 clearing marker. Oh, well, let me draw again, because that was definitely a cheating. now I would know what number it is, so not like it's going to change much, but well, I will draw again. Okay, so now that's all, and this concludes combat segment. So next we are going into elite reaction movement segment. In this segment, non-allied player can move his troops that are that have combat efficiency of 6, 7 or 8. Non-allied player has only one of such unit. This is this Chinese airborne brigade, and since this is elite reaction segment, we cannot use air mobile movement. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. They are moving like this. I have no other units that I can move, so we are going into exploitation movement segment. Now I can move all allied player units that are not in the enemy zones in control. Meaning I can move all my units because I have no units in enemy zones of control. Let's start here. I am spending 2 movement points. Oh wait, sorry, this is Highlands. So for the light infantry, it's 2. Okay, that's 2. And now I can reveal this marker. This is dummy. Okay, it is out of game. That was 2 and 3. I am moving here. So I will control this intersection. Nothing else to do here. And now let us go onto the strategic display. I will try to move this carrier group here. I am spending one of my points because I can use each marker once per phase. So I'm using one marker to get modifier for this C movement, and I got 2. Okay, I think this gives me a chance to make a contested C movement. Let me check. And now, this is -1 for this unit, -1 for this, so this -2, and so it's 0, +2 for submarine threat level, and +1 for the missile launcher, so it's 3. So this is less than 5, so yes, we made it. Now, this ship, I am using another of my launcher, so again there will be +1 and 5. Let us count. 1, 2, 3, so that's 2, +2 for sub-threat level, and +1 for launcher, so 5. Still, that's enough. Okay, so that's good. I'm not going to move these transport ships here. They are I don't want them to be a target. So that's all. But from the other hand, you know, enemy had 2 points. He has no further points left, so I can actually move them. But still, this inshore box is enemy controlled, so I won't be able to make amphibious assault. I need to wait until it will be contested or player control, so nope. And now this surface action group is trying to make a contested C movement onto the board. So I need to make a contested C movement roll again, and that's 9. They failed totally, so they are returning into this box. Okay, so that's all for my movement segment. And now, do I want to make any combat? This is exploitation combat segment, so if I would attack anyone, I would get negative -2 column shift. But in fact, I have no targets for any kind of attack. Yeah, I'm not going to attack anyone, so that's the end of the exploitation combat segment, and now we are moving into reaction movement segment. In this segment, a non-allied player is free to move all his units as he likes. So let us go. I think this brigade here is pointless to stay here in Jask and do nothing, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It is going to right here and help them to attack on Konarak. I'm not going to attack with them alone. I will wait for some reinforcements. Next, this Chinese brigade. 1, 2, 3, 4. It moves here. You may ask why I'm not using air mobile movement. That would bring them here in no time. The answer is that enemy has air superiority, meaning that it would be extremely risky to use air mobile movement, and there is a big chance that I would take some losses during attempt of making this air mobile movement. So no, I'm not making air mobile movement, and that's all for the reaction movement segment. I have no combats to resolve, so this concludes reaction combat segment, and this concludes initiative movement and combat phase. We are going into basic movement and combat phase, starting with movement segment. So I'm going to use my ships. This surface action group tries to move into the board, and non-allied player declares that he's going to use one of his missile launchers to make it harder. So I'm rolling. I rolled 2, -1 for surface action group, so it's 1, +2 for subthreat level, so it's 3, +1 for the launcher, so it's 4. Enough. Enough to make it. We are staying here, and thanks to this I will be able to help them against upcoming massive enemy attack. Now, this light infantry brigade, it is good to be here because I am controlling this intersection. When enemy reinforcements will arrive from this area, I might be able to slow them down. That's good. The problem is that I have only one stacking point, meaning I have no zone of control. But that's all. I'm not going to do much here, but what I want to do actually now is to try to make this amphibious group moving into this inshore box. Yes, I will take this risk, so I'm making a roll. That's 3, and now 2, 1, so that's 1, +2 for subthreat level, so it's 3. That's enough, they can stay here. Okay, so that's all for my movement, and next I'm moving into combat segment, but I have no combat to resolve, so this concludes combat segment. Next we are moving into reaction movement segment, where non-allied player moves his troops. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, because of the enemy zone of control. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. And now we have entire Iranian brigade trying to recapture this port. Let's see if they can make it. Okay, so we have now 14 versus 12. So this is 1-to-1 when it comes to odds, and -1. So -1 and 1-to-1. Next, this unit is going to be a leading force. It has combat efficiency of 5, and this one is going to be a leading force. It has combat efficiency of 7. So it's -2 to 1 to 3. They are not controlling this city, so they don't get column shifts for the city, but even so, we cannot get lower than 1 to 3. Next, die roll modifiers. Defender can use help of this surface action group that has a range of 2 and combat support of 3. So this is going to be +3. It was -1 and now it is +2. Now attacker calls for his 3 remaining air points. I have to make a roll Where did I put my die? It's here. It's 5. It is -2 for enemy surface action group, so it's 2. So it's 3. And we have 3 in the when firing side has air superiority, so it is -1. We spent 3 points, we got 2. So there was +2 and now it is 0. Now defender calls for his air points, and defender may call maximum of 2 air points. So he calls for them. It's 4. It is -1 for enemy mechanized unit on the adjacent hex and enemy airbase in the 2 hexes range. Oh, sorry, no. Battle takes place on this hex, and airbase is here, so 1, 2. Okay, even so, they give total modifiers of -3, so it's 1. And when flying side has air superiority, they can hit me on the level on the result of 0 or less. So they didn't hit me. I get +2. Next, they are attacking from 3 multiple directions, so they get -1. So the total modifiers are now +1. Let us roll, and wow, that's 1! Amazing! 1 + 1, because of the modifiers. This is 2. So this is -1, -1. Each side takes 1 loss. It may not look very good, but in fact it was quite good. Why they are... Oh yeah, they took 1 loss before. Okay. So that's all for this combat, and that's the end of the reaction combat segment. So now, is that all? Nope! There is one more thing I want to do. Sorry. Now, let us go here, and I want to do submarine sortie. I'm going to attack these carriers, and I'm spending one of my sub-threat level points. Now sub-threat level is reduced to 1, and I am making a roll. If I will roll 5 or less, they are hit. Okay. So I wasted my sub-threat level point, achieving nothing. No good. Alright, so that's all for reaction combat segment. We are going to the reorganization phase. What do we have to do in this phase? Actually, the only thing we need to do is to conduct clearing operation. So here it is 4, and now let me take clearing operations table. This is a city, so we need 3 stacking points to make it safe. We have 1, 2 and 3. So this is going to be safe operation. Now I need to make a roll and include a number of modifiers to see if I made it or not. Okay, I think I made it, but let me calculate. First, I am clearing in iron, so it's -1, so it's 7. There is additional installation in the hex because there is a port, so it is 6. Okay, it's here. I am clearing in the same turn when my units were paradropped. Yes, so it's 5. Difference between efficiency rating and clearing number. That's 6 versus 4, so it's 2. So it's 7 again. And I have enough stacking points to make it safe, so I have 7. 7 is higher than 4, so yes, I made it. This port is now under USA control. We can sing Star Spangled Banner here, or Amazing Grace, and we now have this port. But all we have to do now is to hold this port until the end of the game, and we'll be victorious. Maybe even US President will prize us on Twitter. we will see. Okay, now there is reinforcement and replacement phase. As for reinforcements, we are going to get some, and they are coming from OMZ4. So here we have OMZ4. Let me show you. It is from here, there, and there. But we don't care of that far like here. All we care is this area. So this 3 brigade of commandos are going to enter from here, and this infantry division is going to enter from there. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the reinforcements. And now replacements. Do we have any replacement points in this turn? No, we don't have any, so we are not going to use them, and this concludes turn 1. So I am not flipping them. I think they are going to stay like this until the end of the game. They are already revealed. They are not detected. Please remember, they are still not detected, but they are revealed. So I need to check to make sure. Yes, they remain like this, but there is one more thing I have to do. I need to make a roll for SSM reinforcements, and I have to count the number of missile points I have. This is 2, and if I will roll 0, I got 2 additional points. If I will roll number which is less than the number of my missiles or equal, then I have 1. If I will roll higher than the number of my launchers, then I get nothing. So let me roll. That's 3. I have only 2, so I achieve nothing. Okay, so that's nothing more to do in this turn. So that's the end of the turn 1. We are moving into turn 2. Let's go. This is a weather phase, and this time I need to make a roll to see the effect. This is a wet season, so I get +1 to my die roll. Oh, that's 1. +1, it's 2. Weather remains clear. That's good. Next, supply phase. And now it's time to check for the supply. Let's start with allied player. These guys are in the port, so in theory they should have a supply, but no. Why? Because to trace a line of supply, they would have to trace this line through this inshore box. And this inshore box is not friendly controlled, it is not contested, it is enemy controlled. And you cannot trace the line of supply through the enemy controlled inshore boxes. Because of that, they are going to be without a supply. Okay, so let me mark them as out of supply marker. Next, this brigade. Well, here the situation is rather obvious. They are also OOS. Okay, and as for non-allied player, there are no issues here, because our bases are here and there, and I can clearly trace the road connection with my units on board. So no problems with them, they all have a supply. Next, initiative and naval phase. We are starting with initiative, and in the turn 1, allied player holds initiative. Next, I need to make detection rolls. I have 2 detection rolls, so I'm rolling for this one. It's 2, it is detected. Fantastic. And for this one, sorry, that's 6, so it's not detected. Okay, so that's all. Next, let's check for the number of air points available. In the turn 2, this number increases, and it is 10 for allied player, 3 for non-allied player. And 7 strike points. Next, we are going to conduct our strikes. I have only one legal target, which is here, and I'm going to spend 6 points, because I cannot spend more. I have 7 strike points, but I cannot spend all of them, I can only spend 6. So I am targeting them, I am rolling for AO defense, that's 6. In the AO superiority, nothing happens, everything's fine, so I am making my attack. I got 5. So this is just a single hit. It is not enough to destroy this launcher. It is marked with strike 1. So it is still operational, but with some issues. Okay, so that's all for the strike phase. And next we are going to go into C control stuff. Let's start with this damn Gulf of Oman inshore box. It caused us some troubles before. Let's hope that this time it will be better. It's 9. Okay, that's good. Good roll. And this is C control. And now we have plus 2 for these two carrier groups, so it's 11. And plus 1 for our area superiority, so it's 12. Minus 1 for subthreat level, so it's 10. So it's definitely Allied control. Now let's roll for the Gulf of Oman. It's 7. It's minus 1 for subthreat level, so it's 6. So it's also Allied control. Okay, so all the C zones are now in the Allied control. That's pretty good. And next, I need to make a roll for the mine clearance here. There's mine counter with density of 1. Oh, nothing happens. We have minus 2 for this surface action group here, but it's still 7 and we need 3 or less to reduce it by 1. So no effect, and that's all for the initiative AO naval phase. We are going into initiative movement and combat phase. Okay, so let us go. Let it go. And who is going to do what? For them, I think the best is to stay here. As for them, there is a little choice. They are going to defend this port. But our naval units are arriving, so the fleet is coming to help us. And this amphibious group sails here, and they are going to make their sea landing somewhere here. Okay. I will also send one carrier group with them to provide some support. And that's all. So that's all for the movement segment. Next we have a combat segment. So they are assaulting this hex with amphibious assault. There is no enemy, so we can land here safely. I am creating a beachhead, and now they are all landing here in this beachhead. My combat helicopters are staying here to provide some support. That's all for the combat segment. Next we have elite reaction movement segment. So, what I can do, I can move units with a combat efficiency 6, 7 or 8 that are not in enemy zones of control, so they can move. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Please notice that they have no zone of control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So they are now almost completely surrounded by the elite forces of the non-allied player, and that's all for the elite reaction movement. Next we have exploitation movement segment, and in this segment I am free to move all allied units that are not in enemy zones of control. So I cannot move them, but I can move these guys. So they will try to make their way here. 1, 2. They have zone of control, so I have to spend one additional movement point and stop my movement here. So I will move like this. I will leave one battalion here to provide some protection for this beachhead. So that's my movement, and now my combat segment. So I'm going to attack this brigade. This is not going to be easy because this is exploitation combat segment, so I will have -2 column shift, but let us do it anyway. This is going to be risky, but come on, these are Marines. So we have 1, 2, 4 and 5 versus 4. So this is 1 to 1 and -1. Next, column shifts. This is going to be a leading force. So 7 versus 5, that's +2, and exploitation combat segment, that's -2. So 1 to 1. And now die roll modifiers. I am attacking, so I am calling for 4 air points, and it's 6. I have -1 for enemy mechanized unit, so it's 5. So that's fine. I can get them, so I have 5. Next, I'm calling from this ship's support. They can provide me 3, but I cannot get more than 6 points. I already get 4 from my air points, so I can only get 2 from them. So this is going to be total of -7 now. And now Defender. Defender calls for 1 air point, 2, it's -1 for enemy mechanized unit, -2 for enemy ships, so that's -3. So now we get no air point to support our defense. So that's all. And now I need to make a roll because there are no other die roll modifiers. They are not in the town, so no modifiers for terrain. Let me roll. Oh hell, that's 8, but we have -7, so this is going to be 1. This is -1 and retreat. So they take 1 loss and they have to retreat. Can they retreat? Let us see. Actually, yes, they can move here. This hex is not in enemy zone of control because they have 1.5. So they don't have stacking points of 2. And next, I am performing my retreat, my pursuit, and I am advancing onto this hex. Okay, so that's fine. That was a risky attack, but quite a successful operation instead, and we are now here. That's all for exploitation combat segment, and next there will be reaction movement segment. Let's carry on with reaction movement segment and what non-allied player is going to do. My plan to capture this port seems to not working very well because of the counterattack of American Marines. So I think the best thing I can do now is to try to drive them away with these forces. So I will move this brigade 1 and here, so they will attack here, they will attack there. They will try to eliminate this American brigade, and now this division enters the board. 1, 2, 3. Do I want them to join this attack? Let's try. Won't hurt. So that's all. So that's all when it comes to my movement segment, and next we are going into reaction combat segment. So let's carry on with these attacks. Here I have 4 and they are attacking leg units in the open ground, meaning they have 6. So that's 6 versus 2. So this is going to be 3-1. Not bad, isn't it? Now let's check for odds. That's 3-1, and I'm using this battalion as a leading force, so it's 5 versus 7, minus 2. It is 1.5 to 1. Okay, so now die roll modifiers. I have these ships in a range of 2, so I can use them to get +3 in favor of the defender. Now, air points. Attacker has only 2 air points left, so I'm going to call for 1 air point here. And let's roll. Okay, it is wasted. So no more attack points, air points. And now defender. Defender calls for 2 air points. He can't call for more. It's 3. -1 because of the mechanized unit. So that's fine. I can get them. So I have now +5. So that's +5. Do I have any other die roll modifiers? Nope. Nothing. So that's all when it comes to the die roll modifiers. Let me now roll. That's 2, but it is +5, so it's 7. So 7, this is -1, -1. So they take 1 loss, and they take 1 loss, meaning one of these battalions is eliminated. Yeah, they are kinda glass cannon. Quite strong, especially because of their combat efficiency, but also quite vulnerable. Next, here, I'm attacking with 4 versus 3. Please notice that here we have a mechanized unit, and because of that, we don't get a strength multiplier. So this is 4 versus 3, so it is 1.5 to 1, and next, 1 to 1 and -1. My mistake. Next, attacker is calling for 1 air point. 6. It is -1, so it's 5, so nope, we don't have it. Now defender. Defender calls for 2 air points. So 7, yeah, we have them. It was -1, now it's +1. I am calling for the support of these combat helicopters here. 6, okay, we have it. So now it is +2 in favor of the defender. No other modifiers in effect? Nope, we are defending in the town, so that's +1. So that's +3. Okay, looks like non-allied side has a good luck with die rolls. That's 0 + 3, it's 3. So that's -1 and 2. So defender takes 1 hit and attacker takes 2 hits. No, sorry, it's opposite. Attacker takes 1 hit and the defender takes 2 hits. So they are both dead, and damn. You know what I did wrong? I forgot about combat efficiency. So that was 7 versus 4, so -3. So here, this is a good column. Sorry for this mistake, but it's quite important. And now it is -1, -1, so 1 loss for each side. Again, sorry. Okay, so that wasn't bad actually. Well, they took heavy losses, but these Marines were also decimated. And now, here. 2, 4, 9, 11, 13. 13 versus 4 is 3-1. Next, I'm using this unit as a leading force, so it's 6 versus 7, so this is -1. Okay, so that's all, and now let us check for modifiers. Next, the attacker has no air points. Defender calls for his 2 remaining air points. it's 5, so we have them, so that's +2 in favor of the defender. Next, do we have any other modifiers? Yeah. This is mountain, so both attacker and defender gets modifier for light infantry attacking and defending in this terrain, so these modifiers are nullifying each other. Next, attacker gets modifier for attacks from 4 multiple directions, so that's -1. Next, attacker gets negative modifier for attack of the 2 different formations, so that's +2. And attacker gets modifier for Chinese attack unit fighting together with other units, and this is +2, so that's +4. Yeah, it's interesting that when you have Russians attacking with Iranians, then you have +1, but if you have Chinese forces, then you get +2. Looks like this is because of the language difference. So these Chinese forces have problems with communication with their other allies. Okay, so the total modifier is +4, no, not very good for the attacker, and the roll is 2. Okay, they have a good luck with rolls, so the final result is 6. This is -1, -1, so each side takes 1 loss. Okay, so that's all for the reaction movement segment, and we are now moving into basic movement and combat phase. Let us carry on, and what I'm going to do now. As for American player, well, the situation isn't very good. Okay, oh, sorry, I need to step back a bit. What I did wrong, let me show you. Okay, it was I used wrong column, wrong row, because this was mountain. So it was 3-1 and 2-1 because of the combat efficiency, and it was plus. It was 6. So in fact it is -1. Yeah. So only attacker takes 1 loss. Defender is safe. Again, sorry. Such situations happen. Of course, when you play with other human player, it is harder to make such mistake. But when you play solo, it is sometimes happens. Okay. So let us return to the basic movement and combat phase. Now we are moving into movement segment, and what I'm going to do with my movement. Okay. They took heavy losses here, and I'm going to place the battalion here. Now this brigade managed to defend itself in this mountain. So I think 1, please notice they are not in the zone of control. 2, 3, and 4. They are stepping back here. This is still a mountain, so this should help us with defense. Now they are still out of supply. This complicates their situation a bit, and guess that's all when it comes to my movement. And now, do I want to make any attacks? Actually, yes. I'm going to attack here. This is going to be 3 versus 2, so this will be 1.5 to 1. In the clear terrain. This is a leading force, so it's 7 versus 4, so it's +3. And now die roll modifiers. I have no option to use any of my ships to support me, so nothing here. I'm calling for combat helicopters to support me, so that's their second operation. Yeah, we have -1. Sorry, yeah, -1, and we are attacking into town, so that's +1 for the defender. So modifiers are 0 here. Let me roll. Okay, both sides are lucky with die rolls, so it is 1. So these are 2 losses for the defender. So this brigade is out. I can take this hex, and now I will try my luck here with these units attacking this brigade. So 1, 2 and 4 versus 3. So it is 1 to 1 and -1. And now the combat efficiency, I will use this one as a leading force, so they have 6 because of the lack of supply. 6 versus 4, so that's +2. So 2 to 1. And now die roll modifiers. I call for my ship support, so it's -3. And non-allied player is not in the town, so nothing. It's 7. -4, it's 3. 3, this is -2 for the defender. So this brigade is eliminated. Okay, we cleared the area around Konarak, that's good. And that's all for the combat segment. We are moving into reaction movement segment. So now non-allied player can move. These are highlands, so let me check because I forgot how many movement points I need to move with my light infantry. 2 movement points. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So these Chinese forces are moving, and Iranian forces are moving here. I can't do much there because the only unit that left is this weak Iranian Marines brigade, so let them stay here for a while. And now combat segment. So they are attacking this American brigade, and now we have 1, 3, 8 and 10 versus 4. So that's 2 to 1 and -1. Please remember that the defense factor is not reduced because of the out of supply. It only affects our attack ability, and we are fighting in a mountain, so that's 2 to 1 and -1. Now column shifts, it's 6 versus 6 because of the out of supply, so no column shifts. Now die roll modifiers. No air points available, ships are too far, helicopters are spent, so no support, and now any other die rolls modifiers. Attacks from 3 directions, so it's -1. Attack of 2 formations, so it's +1. And joint attack of Iranian and Chinese forces +2. So we have total modifiers of +1 in favor of the defender. Let me roll. Oh, that's worst roll possible. It's 9 + 1, it's 10. It's -1, -1. So 1 loss and 1 loss. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the combat. And next we are going into reorganization phase. So helicopters are back to normal. Do I have any clearing operations? No, I have no. So that's all. We have nothing else to do when it comes to the reorganization phase. And next we have reinforcement and replacement phase. So reinforcements. We have these 2 naval groups arriving on the Indian Ocean, and this brigade arriving into Oman holding box. As for non-allied player, we have these units arriving in the OMZ4, I believe. I will make sure if I am correct, but I believe I am. But well, you never know. Yeah, all of them are arriving from the OMZ4. Okay, now you can see why it was easier for me to attack this port instead of this. If they would arrive from here and from there, they have a quick way to get here. And when they have to fight for this port, their way is definitely longer. So here, there, there, and there. And most of them are also quite slow. Next, I get Chinese Mechanized Brigade arriving here, or maybe there. Okay, let's let it be here. That's all for my reinforcements, and now replacements. This is turn 2, so non-allied player gets 3 replacement points. So now he can spend them to reorganize, to replace or reconstitute his troops. So for example, I can bring back any of my units that were eliminated. I can spend 2 points, or maybe 3, let me check, to bring back this weakened mechanized brigade back in action. This is mechanized brigade. So to reconstitute this I need 2. And now they can be brought back here, and I have 1 point left. So I don't spend it now. I see no option to spend it. So now I'm going to keep it for the next turn. Might be useful when I get another 3 points, so I will have total replacement points of 4. As for allied player, he has none in this turn, so that's all for the turn 2. We are now going into turn 3. And now we are starting with weather phase. So let me roll. That's 1 again, so the weather remains clear. Next, we have a supply phase. So let's check out for supply. They are in supply now because this port has a connection with sea zones and inshore box that are under Allied control. So they are in supply, and the question is if they are in supply. Let me see. Yeah, they are. This unit has no zone of control, so these hexes are not. This unit is not providing zone of control. It is not enemy unit per when it comes to the definition of unit itself. So yes, we have a supply. As for non-allied player, I think no issues around. They all have a supply. Okay, so that's all. And next we are going into initiative aeronaval phase. So now we have to check who has initiative in this turn. And this is kinda tricky, because scenario tells us a player who has more victory points. But damned, we have no victory points in this scenario. The only thing that counts is to hold the port. So you know, it's kinda tricky to find who is going to have initiative in this turn. When it comes to the losses, okay, I think this is the best way to declare who is going to have initiative. Non-allied player lost 2 brigades and 3 battalions. Allied player lost 2 battalions. So the number of losses clearly tells us that non-allied player lost more than twice number of units that allied player lost, and because of that I think it makes sense to give initiative to allied player. Correct me if I am wrong, but I think that's how it should work. Next, we have detection rolls. So I'm going to make a detection for this hex. Ooh, that's 0. Okay, so it is detected. And for this hex, come on, don't go away. 9, nothing. Okay, so now we have these two hexes detected and ready to attack, to be attacked. And now let's check for air points. This is turn 3, so non-allied player has 2 and allied player has 12. Alright, so I'm calling for 2 air points to transfer them into strike points. So I have now 8 strike points. I am making 2 strikes on these hexes, each of them with 4 points. First here, a defense roll, 1, nothing, and because A is still on the superiority level, and now strike, 6, nothing. Now here, defense roll, nothing, and strike roll, 0. So 2 hits, so because of this launcher is dead. Okay, so we made it. Now let's carry on with sea control. And now, as for the Gulf of Oman, we don't roll anymore, it is under Allied control, but as for the Gulf of Oman inshore box, I need to make a roll. Okay, that's 1! This might change the situation a bit. So, sea control. This is a 1, and we have +2 for carrier group, so it's 3. We have +1 for superiority, for air superiority, so it's 4. We have -1 for subthreat level, so it's 3. This is contested. Alright, so that's all for the sea control. And now, mine clearance. Yeah, I have these mines around, so let me try to clear them. Yeah, they are out. Great. So that's all. Next we have initiative, movement and combat phase. Starting with movement segment. So who is going to move? Let us go to the sea, to the sea, to the sea. This carrier group sails into Gulf of Oman, and now it wants to enter Gulf of Oman inshore box, but it is contested. So we need to make a roll. It's 3. -1, -2, and +1 for subthreat level. That's fine. Now this amphibious group. It sails into Gulf of Oman in sea zone, then into Gulf of Oman inshore box, and then it makes a roll. Oh hell! That's 9. So I think we failed. It is -1, -2, -3 for submarine for air superiority. No, only for air supremacy, so no. So we have -2, +1 for subthreat level, so it's 8. So no, this movement is aborted. So they are returning here. It's good that I left this carrier group, otherwise it would be 9 and they would take 1 loss among their transported units. Good. That would be bad. Next, let's check out here. So they did quite good defending here. They have to stay here to protect the beachhead. They have to stay here to protect this area. But I think I can send one of my brigades, 1, 2, here to provide some help to this defending airborne unit. And next, I have this air mobile brigade in Oman. Please notice they have their own transport helicopters, so we don't have to make rolls to spend air mobile points. They can transport themselves with these transport helicopters. So they are flying from Oman here, They spent 19 movement points to fly here, and now they have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they are landing here. Alright, so that's all. And I think I have nothing else to do in this movement segment. So next thing is my combat segment. Do I want to attack anywhere? It's kind of tempting to try to get rid of them. So yes, it's 4 versus 1. It is going to be 4 to 1. We are attacking in the roof terrain. This is going to be a leading force, so it's 6 versus 5 plus 1 into 3 to 1. And any die roll modifiers. This is light infantry attacking in the roof terrain and light infantry defending in the roof terrain. So these modifiers should nullify each other. Oh, but first, air points. So attacker calls for 2 air points. My ships are too far. It's 3. So I have them, so I have -2. Any other? Nope. And defender has 2 air points. He calls for 1. 6. Let me check. It is aborted. So no air points. And that's all when it comes to the die rolls. We have no other die roll modifiers. We have no other modifiers to use. And now, whoa, that was an epic roll. So that's 2 minus 2, it's 0. So that's 1 loss. And retreat. They are eliminated. And they are taking this hex. So that's all for the combat segment. We are now moving into elite reaction movement segment. So any units with combat efficiency 6, 7 or 8 may now move. What can I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. I would overstack this hex, so no. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's all. I can't do much. Yeah, can't do more. So that's all for the elite reaction movement segment, and now we have exploitation movement segment. I can move my units that are not in enemy zones of control. Meaning I cannot move any of these because they are in enemy zones of control, but I can move them, and they are flying here. So these marines are now free to go, and they are moving here. So now we have exploitation combat segment. I can make my attacks, but these attacks would come with negative. Sorry, that's not all. Ha! I almost forgot that I wanted to move these ships. So they are moving into Gulf of Oman, in shore box, and 5. It is -1, -2, and +1 for sub-threat level. So that's enough. That's 4, they need 5, so they can move into Gulf of Oman. Okay, so that's all. And do I want to attack anywhere? I kinda wonder if I should try to attack and eliminate them. That would be 5. Yeah, I will take this risk. And I am attacking here. So this is 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So that's 5 to 1. And I need to check something. This is Highland Woods. This is Highland, yeah. Yes, I was right. Please notice that this is mechanized unit and it is attacking into Highland. Because of that, it has its attack strength halved. So it's 1, 2, and 4. So this is going to be 4 to 1 into Highland. Next, this is a leading force, or no, this Marine battalion is going to be a leading force. So 7 versus 5, it's +2. And -2 for exploitation combat, so this is now 4 to 1 again. Okay, now die roll modifiers. Attacker calls for 3 air points. Let's roll. That's 3, so yes, we have them. So this is -3. And I'm calling for this combat helicopters help. It's 5, so I have them, so it's -4. Defender is not calling for any support, and attacker has 2 different formations in the attack, so this is +1. Five -3, it's 2. -1 and retreat, so this unit is eliminated. I can take the ground if I want to, but I don't want to. So that's all for exploitation combat segment, and we are moving into reaction movement segment. Well, non-allied player took heavy losses, so now what he can do? This is mechanized unit, so moving it through the roof terrain won't be easy. It is 3 movement points in the roof terrain, so I can move it 1, there is no zone of control, and 3, this should do the trick. This one goes here, and this one moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's all. And now my reinforcements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So that's all, and now combat segment. So Chinese units are attacking here. They are not attacking along with them, but they want to attack separately. So they have total strength of 5. And now this is 5 versus 2, so this is going to be 2 to 1 in the roof terrain and -1. Oh, sorry, it is 5 because they are this is mechanized unit, so it's 5 plus 2, it's 7 versus 2, it will be 3 to 1. Okay, that's 3 to 1. And now die roll modifiers. As for attacker, I have 1 air point left. Do I want to use it? No, I'm not going to use it. So, or maybe, come on, yeah, I will take it. So let me roll. Ha ha ha, nothing. Okay, so now defender. Defender calls for 2 air points. That's 0. -1 because of mechanized unit, so it's 1. So he has 1 point available. So now die roll modifiers are 0. Any other modifiers? No, because we have light infantry defending and attacking in the roof terrain, and we have only Chinese units here, so no modifier for Chinese units and any other nation. So that's all. Let me roll. That's 2. And That's -1 for the defender. So this brigade is dead. Chinese forces are advancing here. And that's all. Now, that's all for the reaction combat segment. We are moving into basic movement and combat phase. And now let's start with movement. So what can I do now with my American forces? First, one, they are moving here, and my amphibious units are sailing here. Or maybe, no, they are going to go into this port. I think they should be placed here. And they will unload 2 points. So 1 and 2. And these units still can move by half of their movement allowance. So it's 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Alright, so that's all. Now, do I want to attack anywhere? I think not. I think I'm fine where I am, so I'm not making any attacks in the combat segment. And now we are moving into reaction movement segment. So non-allied player can move. So what he can do? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's all for the movement. And now let's carry on with reaction combat. So they are attacking here. That's 10 versus 3. So this is going to be 3-1. 7 versus 5, it's 1.5 to 1. And now die roll modifiers. For the attacker, we have 1 air point, and I'm calling for this 1 air point. -2 because of the ships, nothing. Defender calls for his 2 air points. That's 6, so he has +2. Now, because of the ships, we have another +2. And I call for my combat helicopters. That's 6 -1 because of the mechanized unit, so it's 5. So I have 6. And let me check if it is correct. We have maximum of 6 die roll modifiers. Fine. Fine. Everything's fine. So now, any other modifiers? Yes, they are defending in the town. So that's +1. So now this is +6. It's 8 plus 6, so the worst roll possible. It's 2, 1. So attacker takes 2 losses, defender takes 1 loss. So both units eliminated each other. Next, Chinese forces are attacking here. So they have 5 and 2, so it's 7 versus 4. So this is 1.5 to 1 with -1. Oh, in the roof terrain. 7 versus 6, so it's 1 to 1. And now die roll modifiers. Attacker has no air points left. Defender calls for his 1 lost air point. 8, they have it, so it's 0. And no other die rolls available, I believe. No, so it's 2 this is -1, and retreat. So both sides take one loss, and the defender steps back 2 hexes, and now they move here. Now they are attacking together here. It's 2, 5, or not. I'm going to make it different. I will use this division only. So this is going to be 7 versus 2. So it is 3-1 in the Highland and -1. Next, die roll modifiers, nothing. No support because we spent all the air points. And 6 sorry, I forgot about column shifts. 6 versus 4. No, 6 versus 6, so no column shifts. Okay, that's fine. And any other die rolls? I think no. No air points available, ships are too far, so no. Simply a die roll. It's 8, so it is -1 for the attacker. And that's all for the reaction combat segment. So next we go into reorganization phase. So let me flip these helicopters. These weren't used. And now let us go into reinforcement and replacement phase, because I have nothing else to do in the reorganization phase. So as for reinforcements, another naval group arrives into Indian Ocean, and the remaining elements of 101st Division arrive into Oman holding box. No other reinforcements for a non-allied player, and now replacement points. Non-allied side has 4 replacement points. 3 from this turn and 1 left from previous turn. So they are spending 2 points to bring this division back to full strength, and they are spending another 2 to bring back this armored brigade with its weakened state back into action. So that's all. American player has 1 replacement point. Now that's only 1. I'm not sure if I can use it in any way, because let me check. I have my airborne units here, so to bring them back to full strength I would need at last 2 replacement points, and I have only 1, so I can't do much. Guess this is scenario mistake, there should be 2. I believe this would make sense, but well, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's all for the turn 3. We are coming to the last turn of the game, turn 4. So let me roll for the weather. It's 4 plus 1, because of the wet season, it's 5. So the weather remains clear. Next, let's check for a supply. So they have a supply, they have a supply, they have a supply, they have a supply, so they have as well. Okay, everyone's in supply, so that's good. And now that's all for the supply phase. We are now into initiative air naval phase. This turn is contested. This is the last turn of the game, so it's going to be contested. Now detection rolls. I have... oh, where my die fell. Okay, so I'm going to make rolls for this. 1, it is detected, but it was dummy, and this one, it isn't detected. Okay, so that's all. And now my air points. 1 point for non-allied player, 14 points for allied player, and 6 strike points. So I am making my attack with 6 strike points here. 3, it is 2 hits, so this launcher is also down. So that's all for the strike phase. And next, for the strike step, and next sea control. Let me roll for the Gulf of Oman. That's 6. And for the sea control, 7, 8, no, 8 and 10. +1 for the air superiority, so it's 11. Okay, this is under Allied control now. And that's all for the initiative air naval phase. Next, we have initiative, movement and combat phase, but we are skipping this phase because this is contested turn, so nothing to do here. We are moving straight into basic movement and combat phase. Okay, so now what can I do with allies? I will move 1, 2, 3, 4 because of enemy zone of control. They are unloading their forces here. They are moving 1 and 2. My air mobile forces, well, they are flying 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Let me roll for air defense. Fine. And as for them, they have to return to Oman. Okay, now naval stop movement. They are moving here and there and onto the board. They are moving here and they are now we unloaded two points, so I can unload 2 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4 in this port. So now I can get this brigade out of port. I have enough units here, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's all for Allied movement, and now let me go with Allied combat. So they are attacking here, and they have 2, 4, and 7 versus 5. So this is going to be 1.5 to 1 in the roof terrain. This is going to be a leading force of the attacker. Oh. This is going to be a leading force of the defender, so 7 versus 6, +1. And now die roll modifiers. Attacker calls for 4 air points. That's 8, so he has them. So that's 4. And no other points. Defender has 1 air point available, so I will call for it. For now, sadly, no, it's not effective. And now any other die roll modifiers. These ships cannot provide me support with the range of 1. I have 2 different formations, so that's +1 for the defender, so that's -3. 7 minus 3 is 4. It is -1, -1, and retreat. So both sides take 1 loss, and defender has retreat 2 hexes, 1, 2, and I am taking ground. Next, my marines are attacking here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 to 1, it is Highland. This is a leading force, so 7 versus 5, +2, 7 to 1. I am calling for 3 air points. 8, so I have them, so it's -3, and 1 combat helicopter point. Oh, that's 3, so that's fine. So I have total modifiers of -4. This is light infantry attacking and light infantry defending, so no mod in the mountain highland hex, so no modifiers here. I have a single formation, so no problem. Die roll is 1, -4, it's -3, so that's -4 for the attacker. They are eliminated, and I can move here. Now this is mechanized unit. Can it move? Motorized unit. Can it move into Highland? I'm not sure, but let me check. I think no, but I would better check it to make sure. Highland, yes, they can. They can advance onto this hex. That's good. So that's all for the attacker. And now defender, non-allied player. So what non-allied player can do? Actually, I think he already lost, because he hasn't enough strength to get this port back. But I will take this risk, and I'm going to make an attack here, just out of curiosity if I can. So let me see. This is 7 versus 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's 1 to 1 and -1. And now die roll modifiers. We have +2 for the ships. I'm calling for 2 air points for the defender. So it's 2, so it's 0 because of the airbase and mechanized unit. So I lost 1, so I have only 1. I'm calling for the combat helicopters. So it's 5, so I have them, so it's +1. I'm going to use this amphibious group support as well, so it's +4. Oh, and I forgot about combat efficiency column shift, so it would be 7 versus 4, it would be 1 to 3. I don't even have to count the modifier for column shift for the city, because it is already on the worst odds possible for this terrain. And do I have any other column modifiers? No. Die roll modifiers? No. So let me roll. That's 5 minus +4, it's 9. So it is -2 for the attacker. So this one is eliminated, this one is dead. So as you can see, it wasn't possible for a non-allied player to capture this, to recapture this port. So that's everything. This is the end of the scenario. It started quite lazy. There wasn't much to do at the beginning of the game because of the small number of units, but as the number of units increased, it became a bit more interesting. I think that adding these Chinese forces was quite a good touch, because they proved to be quite effective against Americans. But even so, Americans are definitely having high ground in this scenario. It is easier for them to win. So feel free to experiment and to change the number of units on both sides. This might give some interesting results. So, well, let me tell you something. I played this scenario before, I think 4 times, and it's not like Americans are winning every time. I remember playing it, I think, 2nd time, when I actually lost this scenario with Americans, because they weren't able to capture the port at the beginning in the turn 1, and later they faced serious problems with capturing any other ports with enemy reinforcements arrive, especially since I tried to capture this port because of the airfield here. if I would have this airfield, I would be able to transfer my combat helicopters from Oman, but when I played that scenario, I failed to do so, and this time I was, well, a bit smarter, and I took the safest port available, even if it means I won't be able to use any airfield. Well, I would be able to do so if I would capture Chabahar. That's an option I should consider, but, well, I hadn't much time. My goal was to stop these enemy reinforcements from coming from the northwest. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.